Hey, why are there so many assignments? Why? Hey, what
What
the
the Sigma?
Sigma? What's up? It's your culture detective here, investigating your favorite albums. And today I'm going to be doing an album review, a quick album review, because I'm late, so I need to do it as fast as possible. On the new Taylor Swift album, The Tortured Poets Department. Yeah, I always accidentally call it the Tortured Poets Society because like Dead Poets Society, but no, it's the Tortured Poets Department. Yeah. So Taylor Swift, she is one of the most well-known, successful, biggest artists of our generation, and a lot of people are already really familiar with her work, so she needs no introduction. But after her early days in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, she sort of hit an edgy point with the album Reputation, which is the album where I started reviewing her music. Following that, she returns to form on the album Lover. Both of these albums are incredibly very mediocre, and the edginess of her is as edgy as a 13-year-old child. So obviously, Reputation thus far, before the release of this new album, is my least favorite Taylor Swift. However, Taylor Swift goes onto a bit of a folky detour in the year 2020 with the albums Folklore and Evermore, which sees Taylor Swift going for a more mature and artistic direction, and it is genuinely interesting and amazing to see Taylor Swift evolve in sound and style. It's actually going to be exciting for Taylor Swift's career. And then we enter the 2020s, where because of rights disputes and also Taylor Swift's old record label essentially screwing with her, which is still like one of the most terrible things to happen to her. So Taylor Swift has to re-record and remaster all her old albums and old songs and label them Taylor's version. So that's something that sort of happened and will keep on happening. And then following that, a couple years ago, she released the album Midnight, which is easily the most derivative, boring, and the most forgettable album Taylor Swift has ever released. And unfortunately, with the release of this new album, The Tortured Poets Department, Taylor Swift has continued down the path of making boring music because, oh my god, is this album boring as hell. And I am not in the minority here. A majority of the people online in the internet, we all think that Taylor Swift's new album is boring. And that goes without saying. So I don't want to constantly berate Taylor Swift and call her music boring throughout the entire review, because this is something that people have said many times on the internet already. Now, another thing to note is that Taylor Swift used to date Matt Healy, who is the frontman of the band The 1975, but there's some drama that happened, and now she's with another guy whose name is Travis something. I think Travis Kelce, who is a football player. And so you need to know that context before going into the album, because essentially a lot of songs on the album are written about Matt Healy. And it's also very interesting that Taylor Swift in the early 2010s, she's the shit. She's really well known, she's very popular. And, I still remember when I was in my early teen years, I would bump, we are never, never, ever getting back together, my friend, your friend, me. Like, I remember listening to this shit when I was a teenager, but I'm a young adult now, and she's still making the same kind of music almost. But it's actually kind of impressive how she went from being very famous to being relatively less talked about in the late 2010s, and now she's sort of back in the spotlight again, and everyone and their moms are talking about her for some reason. Also, the Tortured Poets Department. It's 2 hours long. Why is this thing 2 hours long? So the main album is actually 16 tracks and it's a little more than an hour long, but the whole album, called the Anthology, is 2 hours long. We don't need 2 hours of the same material, man, okay? Now, one gigantic pitfall of this album is that all the instrumentals are very same. They're all very sterile, basic, clean, and also the lyrics are very juvenile. It's like they're written by a 14-year-old girl who just had a breakup for the first time. But I think that's what's amazing about Taylor Swift's music. It's almost impressive how she's in her mid 30s and she's still able to write from such a young and such a sort of this juvenile perspective. It's almost impressive. It's almost like she got the formula down. She got the mindset down. That's her writing now. And it's almost like an aesthetic now. But I just can't help but feel like most of the tracks on the album feel like overdramatic young love cries. That's like the impression I keep getting. Also, this piece of hair just keeps messing with me. So anyways, I'm just gonna quickly speed through all the tracks on the main album. The album opener, Fortnite, is a toned down ballad. The keyboards are okay. Honestly, it's not too bad of a song. Maybe it's because it's an album opener and, you know, it's just gonna get worse and worse from here. But as an album opener, not too bad. I like that lyrically you can interpret it as, okay, it's about her broken love life, but it can also be about alcoholism. You know, when she sings about the person she loves, perhaps it's alcohol, and you can't really tell. But instrumentally and lyrically, it's already really basic and dime a dozen. We're immediately right off the bat into a sleepy start, and it's just going to get sleepier and sleepier from here on out. The title track has some of the most intriguing lyrics on the album. You smoked, then ate 7 bars of chocolate. We declare Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. I scratch your head, you fall asleep like a tattooed golden retriever. Then we have My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, which is a more upbeat synthy song with big beats and synths, but again, nothing too interesting. Then we have the track Down Bad, which is like the most basic Taylor Swift vocal ever, by the way. Like I can literally write a song immediately with the same vocal melody. I am the detective, I am not deceptive, I am late to class for USC, but in my mind, it's only you and me. Yeah, we have soft keyboards, basic beats. On this track, she expresses anger towards her ex and repeated refrains like, you know, it's like I'm losing my twin, fuck it if I can't have him. And it's just like, okay. The track So Long London sees Taylor Swift to detail her adventures in London, UK, which actually leads to some pretty interesting storytelling lyrics, and instrumentally it's also not that bad, I guess. But Daddy, I love him, okay? It's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have Fresh Out the Slammer, which sounds like an AI-generated Christmas song. It's so plainly produced. It's so basic, I could hear it in the back of like a Walmart or something. And then we have the track Florida with 3 exclamation marks featuring Florence the Machine, who I can perhaps proclaim that Florence has outsung Taylor Swift on this track. Then we have Guilty as a Sin, which is a simple 4/4 ballad. Instrumentally, it's very, very basic, but lyrically, it's not that bad. I like how Taylor Swift likens love to guilt on this track, and also there are various Christian references sprinkled throughout the track, which is pretty fun. It's pretty nice. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is a young and lively track with bright vocal layers, and on this track she sort of fantasizes about people not being able to survive what she survived when she's young, especially with lyrics like, I want to snarl and show you how disturbed this has made me. You wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me, so all you kids can sneak into my house with all the cobwebs. I'm always drunk on my own tears. Isn't that what they all said? Okay. Then we have I Can Fix Him, No I Really Can. It's kind of funny to see Taylor Swift use terms like down bad, and I can fix him. She's a bit of a Gen Zer now. But really, this track is littered with Texas cowboy euphemisms, and it's also instrumentally the most barren, empty song here. Like, I can barely remember anything about the track. Lomo is actually Love of My Life, and it is another slow melodramatic piano ballad. And then we have I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, which sounds exactly like the last track, Fight Me If You Disagree, with quirky, nimble beats in the chorus, and also the lyrics, I act depressed like it's my birthday every day, which is like a reference to the Ano Hideaki film Ritual, I guess. You know what? On second thought, probably not. We need to start gatekeeping these artsy Japanese films from the mainstream because holy shit. Then we have The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, which is another epic dramatic ballad. Oh, the guy I loved has betrayed me, and the world is crumbling down, and the tectonic plates are flipping like, I don't know. The Alchemy is another same track. I remember the lyrics, ditch the clowns, get the crown, baby, I'm the one to beat. Then finally the album ends off with Clara Bow, which is just more of the same. So obviously this is not good. It is a very boring album. But then just when you think it's over, this album offers 15 more tracks on the deluxe version or the anthology version of the album. 15 more songs that sounds exactly the same. Now, obviously, at this point in the album, I'm already exhausted. I can't go on anymore. But there are still a couple of songs that I would like to mention because lyrically, they are masterpieces. We have the track So High School. This is so high school. Oh my god. Truth dare spin bottles. You know how to ball. I know Aristotle. Brand new Full Throttle. Touch me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto? And then we have the track I Hate It Here. My friends used to play a game where we would pick a decade we wish we could live in. Instead of this, I'd say the 1830s, without all the racists, and getting married off for the highest bid. Everyone would look down because it wasn't fun now. What? Not to forget to mention that the track immediately after this, Thank You Amy, has the letters K, I, and M, capital I, so obviously it's about Kim Kardashian. And it's hilarious because Taylor Swift is not even trying to hide it anymore. She is directly referencing Kim Kardashian on this track, which I guess implies that when Taylor Swift wrote the lyrics to this track and probably to the rest of the album, it's less about writing music, more about writing about herself. And so the selling point of this entire album is literally Taylor Swift lore, drama surrounding Taylor Swift, rather than the actual quality of the music. So yeah, the album overall just feels incredibly hollow. It's like a barren wasteland. There are some legitimately good lyrical moments here and there, but they're so sparse, they're so rare and few and far between. Honestly, when I'm listening to the album, I feel like I'm listening to some background music in a store or a restaurant or something. The kind of music that you would immediately forget like 15 seconds later after you finish the song. So I hate to be on the hate train. I really do. And I just there are some redeeming qualities in the album, but overall it's just like it's so hollow. It's so empty. There's like nothing in this album. There's like nothing, unfortunately. I'm giving the new Taylor Swift album the Tortured Poets Department. Strong 3. To a light 4. Probably keep it to a strong 3 out of 10. Yeah. So have you listened to new Taylor Swift? Comments below. Let me know. Subscribe if you want more. And thanks for watching.